So do you ever feel like your cost to acquire a client is way too high, or you're just not able to connect with your market? You're not getting good conversions, or you're struggling to connect with the right types of clients? Well, in today's busy marketplace, in today's technological infrastructure, we struggle with these big core barriers. The first one being skepticism. People not believing, people not trusting. The trust barrier today is higher than it's ever been. And on top of that, you add this extra component, the noise that's out there, everybody trying to put their hands up, trying to be the expert, trying to be the solution, and you find yourself worrying how you're going to make your business to survive, how you're going to stand out from the crowd, how you're going to be that individual business that can break through and make that $100,000 a month, maybe even more. And today I want to talk to you about something super important, because if you don't break through these, if you're not able to figure these components out, then being a successful entrepreneur, being a successful coach, consultant, or expert is going to be very difficult. And to be quite honest with you, most people that aren't able to break through this tend to give up. But giving up is not a solution for us, right? So in this video, I'm going to be covering this topic. And we're talking about how to get high-ticket clients, but specifically, I'm going to be talking about your $1 million avatar, and more specifically, we're going to be talking about message to market fit. This is a very important context. And if you get this right, you can have superpowers. You can leverage yourself above the competition. I know I did, and I'll show you how I did that. Your message to market fit in today's economy is one of the most important ingredients to a successful business. It doesn't matter what business you have, but if you're a coach, consultant, or expert, it is vitally critical. When you get it wrong, your cost for acquisition goes up, your conversions become crazy, you can't convert clients, you get the wrong or problematic clients, you just don't get any clients at all. And that's not a good place to be. So we need to work through that and create a solution. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I used to be a construction manager. I used to build high-rise buildings up to $180 million in project cost. And when I first started in the construction industry, I had a mentor, and my mentor told me this, and I will never forget it, because it really does hit home the importance of message. He said all problems are rooted in bad communication. Now you can imagine when you're operating a high stressful project, you got to build multiple layers of a building, you got different types of people that you're working with, you got different cultures, you got different languages, you got different ethnicities, you got all this mix of people in one environment that are doing all different types of jobs. It's not like a factory where everything is systematic. On a construction site, there's people from all different walks of life, all different places, and the key ingredient to having a successful project is good communication. For instance, you talk to the plumbers or the electricians or the steel fixers or the concreters, whoever's doing a specific role on that project, each of them has a different language, each of them has a different nuance. And so in order to connect and get the project running smoothly, you need to know good communication. You need to be able to have that people trust you, you need to be the leader, and you need to send a message across the board that helps people deliver on results. So at the end of the day, you get what's the result that you're looking for. Now, I can tell you many times and many stories that I've gone through where I take it to the root of the problem, where there's been problems, and always fundamentally the problem started with bad communication. Once you get that communication working smoothly, or you understand the power of communication, the whole flow of things go much easier, and it makes for a much better outcome, whether it's projects, business, or anything. So the outcome of a good message really is attracting good quality clients. Having the people in your space working with you that are going to pay you the money that you're worth, right? Because you're a high value individual and you need to be paid a good outcome. If you get your messaging right, you have all this leverage. You're going to get the right clients, you're going to get more clients. Your cost to acquire a client is going to go down because you've got this really tight market to message fit. Now, a lot of people get it wrong, so it's really important to understand this. And so in this video, I'm going to be teaching you, I'm going to go through this in steps. First of all, I'm going to be talking about relevance over brilliance. We're going to talk about the perfect message, how to connect with your audience, what tools you can use, and the importance of that message and getting it right, the flow and how a message impacts your marketing strategy. I'm going to talk about the one word to domination. I'm going to show you how one word can make a huge impact in your entire marketing campaigns, and it can make a huge difference in the type of business that you run. It took me a while, and I made many mistakes, but this is a super important component of what I'm going to talk to you about. And then finally, I'm going to provide you a bonus. Number 4, this is a secret hack that we use to getting the messaging just right in our businesses and then for our clients' businesses to help them have success in getting high-ticket clients. Now, please, this is going to be a cool training and probably one of the most important trainings that you've watched so far that I've done. Your opinion matters to me. In the comment box below, please provide some feedback, give some questions, tell us a story of what you've been up to. I'd really love to know. This is a place for learning, growth, and experience. So share your story. It'll be awesome. Your opinion matters. My name is Matthew White, founder of the Coach Launch Formula. We're here to help high-ticket coaches, consultants, and experts, get to the $100,000 a month consistently and achieve it 7 times faster without overwhelm. I get it. I see it a lot. A lot of people are struggling with overwhelm because there's just so much going on, so much technology, so much competition. And so if you plug into a system, it removes all of this and makes life a lot easier. It's a better way to leverage. Leveraging systems gives you that extra boost. Right, now the Coach Launch Formula consists of 3 core components, and these are the exact components you must have to have a successful online coaching and consulting business, especially in the high ticket space. If you don't have one of these or one of these is broken, then it's really hard to build a successful business or run a profitable, successful business. The first phase is equity. You need to have an offer, have a business that's so desirable that your clients just can't resist it. Number 2, phase 2, you need trust. If you don't have trust, you don't have clients. That's it, plain and simple. Part of what I'm talking about today is about this. You need to become so admired online that people just can't ignore you. When you're admired, when you have trust, when you have status, when you have the right type of environment created through online media, and social media is a big part of that, you can have lots of clients, more clients, the right clients, paying you good money. And then ultimately, phase 3 is you need to have control. Most people have lost control of their businesses before they even start. They don't have steps, they don't have clarity, they don't have process, they just jump into it, have these great ideas and they want to run, and then they lose control, and this is where the overwhelm comes. So we're all about making things so simple, you become unstoppable. Simplicity is the key to growth and success. That's the Coach Launch Formula. It's all built around our red diamond funnel. It's a AI-based funnel that we've been using for many years to crush it in our industry, and we're helping our clients do the same. It consists of all 3 of those ingredients: equity, trust, and control. If I zoom out a little bit here, I'll show you exactly what that looks like. This is the funnel that's made us more than 4.2 million in 2 years. It's very simple, but underneath the hood, it's got a beast of an engine that's all automated. The automated functionality is what makes a successful business run well. AI is a big part of what we do in our business, but nothing matters more than what I'm talking about today. That is your message to market. Now, just to clarify, we do a lot of research in our business to understand the dynamics and the nuances and to make sure that we're going in the right direction. We spend money on advertising for data, and we look at scientific research when it comes to psychology and innovation and what we can use to drive successful business. Now, I'm going to link these 2 resources in the video below, and this is a very important context to understand. This it talks about skepticism towards online advertising, causes, consequences, and remedial moderators, means what you can do about it. And then this other awesome white paper that I found, which is your message to market matching advertising, motivational matching continuum. This is a very interesting topic and white paper, which I fundamentally base all of our messaging and our marketing around. It's a core ingredient to understand. Now, it's best to do your marketing based on science and analytics. Don't be emotional about the decisions that you make. You have to have data-driven decisions. Right now, we're in an amazing place in our history where there is such a vast availability of science, research, and data that you can draw from to make the right decisions. And people like us who have already gone through the hard yards that you can leverage off and make the journey to growing your coaching and consulting business so much easier. Yes, let's go back to this, right? So message fit. Now, there are 2 very important ingredients for successful business. Number one, you have to have product fit. Product fit means your product is suitable for the people that you're selling to. But product fit is connected to your lifetime value. So the better your product, the better the lifetime value of your clients is going to be. Meaning that the more money you make, the better your product's going to be, right? The more profit you can make, the better off you are. However, you can have the most amazing product in the world, and it can be the most fantastic thing you've ever created. But guess what? Without message fit, it means nothing. If you don't have a clear, concise, core message that connects the right people to the right dots, it doesn't matter what your product says. I've seen really good products fail because there's no message to market fit. And message fit comes down to your cost to acquire a client. If you've got a good message fit, your cost to acquire the client goes down. You leverage that against the profit you make off your business. So message fit is key ingredient, but it has to be congruent with your product and product fit. Make sense? Let's start with step number one, relevance over brilliance. Relevance. One of the most important words, I think, when it comes to messaging. You have to be relevant. You have to connect with your audience. You have to be on the same page as them. Otherwise, they're just going to go somewhere else. When you get this right, you have leverage, you have power, you have more capacity to stand out in your marketplace. I want to show you in a while the story that we went through, that one word changed everything for us, and it was powerful, and it was an awakening for me when I understood this, when I learned this. It just changed everything. We have a couple of businesses. Right now we have two main businesses, a real estate business and a business coaching business, which is Coach Launch. A real estate business is this business here. It's helping clients with cash flow positive real estate. We've been selling high ticket for many years. My very first high ticket coaching program that I sold was $2,500. I was so scared when I wanted to sell that first program. I didn't know what I was going to deliver. I didn't even know if I was going to be any good. It was scary. The fear set in, imposter syndrome, all of that stuff crushed me in the beginning, but I broke through. And in no time, I was coaching clients and selling packages at $15,000. It's a big motivational boost when you can do that over and over and over and over again and build a multi-million-dollar business. And then we evolved and we started selling higher ticket packages up to as much as $50,000 for programs. And when you can do that consistently, it makes everything in your life so much different, so much better. When we first started this business, back in probably 12 years ago now, I had just come out of construction and I knew nothing about message. I knew nothing about marketing. Literally, I had to go and learn. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars self-educating myself so that I can accelerate my journey in marketing and helping people get their dreams, achieve results. Because I'm passionate about the people that I help. I knew nothing about message and I had to learn and grow. We spent money on advertising. In the beginning, we failed. We were struggling to get those costs down to acquire clients. We were struggling to get in front of the right clients. The whole downline of our messaging was very wrong. If I look back at it now, it's pretty laughable. But we came to a final result. And when that result kicked in, when the message was just right, everything changed. We now had a business that was profitable. It was successful. And it all came down to core ingredients. Now, that whole context of relevance over brilliance is super important to understand. It's having that product, right? It's having this amazing product that you want to provide to your clients, or this brilliant idea, right? And you know it's worth something, you know it's going to have some great results. But the thing is if you don't have relevance, if you don't have message to market, when we started, we knew we had a great product. We were living the product. We were doing the thing. We were having results. We could help people what we could accomplish in our real estate journey, but it was a tough gig in the beginning. But then things changed. I started thinking about this. I started learning. I started researching. I started looking at what other people were doing. I started listening, understanding, and I became coachable. And that's when everything changed for me. This core context here stands out for me today, and it should stand out for you as well. Meet people where they are and know where people are heading. So meet people where they are means that message has to connect with where they are right now. What they're going through. But I talk about this a lot, is that we don't have anything until somebody wants something, right? Doesn't matter how much problems, pains, or obstacles, abbreviation, doesn't matter how many of these things they are. Unless people prioritize and want to do or want to make a change, there is nothing. Now it's really hard to convince people to make a change, to make them solution aware, right? There's a lot of energy and effort that goes into it. But the market can do that on its own if you just let it. But you want to be in front of those people when they're prioritizing that they need to make a change. When they start wanting to do something, now the magic happens, especially in high ticket. A lot of people don't get that. A lot of people want to connect with people where their problems are. And I know that makes sense, but if you connect with people where their problems are, I know loads of people that have problems, but they don't deal with them. They're in broken marriages, or they have children that are going through stuff, right? Or they have things at their job or their work, or they're not making enough money in their business, but they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, thinking that's going to change. They've got the problem. They know they've got the problem is there. It's not going to go away. But when there's the level of people that want to make a change, and when you meet them in that market, everything becomes easier, because now you can connect with an audience of people that are ready or nearly ready to take action, and you just have to nudge them over the line. I learned that the hard way, but today it's one of the things I preach a lot to all my clients. Well, I don't preach, I encourage. And I say preach because I'm voicing it, right? I'm voicing it to a lot of people. But I advise that message to market is fundamentally the most important thing that you can work on over and over and over again, consistently. Because market changes and shifts, and you need to be ahead of the game. And so when I did that, when I did take on board all the learnings that I needed to do, my message became so crystal clear. People knew exactly what I was talking about, what I was offering, what we were producing. The sales conversions, the sales discussions now become so much easier. People know, they're already prepared, they already have that in the mind, they know the journey that they're going on, right? Knowing where they're going, right? Because I knew where people were heading, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute, I was able to create the perfect message to market fit. When you do that the right way, it's just so much leverage, right? And it comes to, as I was speaking about before, sorry, spinning around here a little bit, relevance over brilliance. Relevance. Be relevant to your people, be relevant with the message, and then the magic happens. All right, so let's talk about the perfect message. Now, everybody thinks they have the perfect message. Everyone thinks that they know their clients better than everyone else. And this fundamentally is true. And if you've been in business for a certain period of time, you get to know your clients, you know the language they speak, you understand them. However, there's a lot of other people in your industry as well, in your space, doing the same thing. They know their market, they know the market that you're in, and they're doing the same thing. So it's important to have edge. It's important to have leverage. It's important to stand out above them in a specific way. And so having a perfect message is imperative. And here's the thing, I always thought messaging was one little thing. I always thought that right in the beginning, it was kind of, everyone was talking about your headline's everything, okay, there's everything. And fundamentally, that can be a very true component. However, something that came up to me, and it's something that drives home to me every day when I do my marketing, when we're doing our processes, is that message, right? Your market to message fit is not just one message. It's not just one ad. It's not just one little piece of the puzzle. It's the journey. Your message has to be the journey. Message has to take them from where they are and show them how they're going to get to where they need to be. And so many people don't really understand this, is that you got to put a lot of messaging out there. People right now need to see you so many more times than ever before, as much as 7 hours. Like, it's crazy. People need to see you for 7 hours on the internet before they're going to be prepared to do business with you. So the message is the journey. And when you're taking people on that journey and you're giving them context and you're giving them clarity and you're helping them get to the place they need to be, boom, you're starting to create the perfect message. And the message is from where they are now to where they need to be. Now, the big mistake that I see a lot of people making in their marketing, it drives me insane that people don't get this, because it's an obvious component, and yet people still make this big mistake. So let me explain. Congruence is the glue to a perfect message. Congruence. In psychology, you'll learn the importance of congruence. Now, I've read lots of white papers about congruence, and the science is very, very clear. Very clear. In marketing, congruence will keep people engaged, out of congruence, you'll lose people in a flash. So keeping your message congruent as much as possible is very important. Okay, when you're talking about a topic, right, or you got an image, or you got a story, whatever the part of your messaging is that you're working through, it needs to flow from the beginning of your messaging when you start hooking people in, from your hook all the way to when you make the sale, right? Even as far as going when you deliver. That congruency needs to be all the way through. Because when you do it, when you're delivering your value, that's when you're going to get advocacy. That's when you get people giving you good testimonials. So congruency is everything in your messaging. It's everything. It's the glue that sticks your whole business together. So very important to understand that when you're creating the perfect message, it needs to follow through right till the end. When you do that the right way, you have a good business. It becomes very profitable. Now we have a system whereby we create messaging with our clients, and messaging and offer go together, right? Your offer is as important as your message. The message fits into the offer, and they're all kind of intertwined. So you can't really do one without the other. So we spend a lot of time with our clients building up the specific messaging and to market fit, connected with the outcome that they're going to get, and they work together. So we have a formula. We call it the bold berry, the $1 million avatar. The idea of that is that you want to be working with people that are going to get to that $1 million a year mark or more, and it has to be specific types of people. Not everyone is suited for you. Not everyone is suited for your business. Not everyone is suited for your personality. Not everyone is suited for the results. And so knowing the exact avatar is going to be fundamental. And we break it down into 4 core components. It's, first of all, defining the path, knowing what your segment is, whether you're in wellness, whether you're in life and mind, whether you're in performance, or you're in business. These are the core profitable industries that you can have success in as a high-ticket coach, consultant, or expert. So the first phase is defining the path. The next phase is actually getting clear on your actual perfect client. What does the client look like for you in that segment? Being very specific in that minimum viable segment. Who is that exact person you're working with, the exact demographics? Here's the thing. People go, oh, I know who I want to work with. I want to work with these types of people. Divorced ladies who have this problem and in this area. Okay, that's awesome. You now know who you want to work with. That's fantastic. You're very well aligned with your business. Have you validated it? Do you know what type of message, what type of product you need to put in front of it? Have you validated? So validation of your message and your product is a key ingredient to the whole messaging construct. Now, when you understand your avatar, you know exactly who your perfect client is, you now go and you spend time, energy, effort, and or money figuring out what their perfect message is and refining it for the product. Does it fit? Is there a market match? You now then go through another phase where you need to know that everything that you've done is going to stand out or be able to stand out, or what do you need to do to make it stand out in that market, right? Where's the uniqueness? Where's the authenticity? And what is the appeal in your market? Once you identified what these look like, you now have a very perfect market to message fit. Then you can create the story, right? You now know that this is going to work, and you have the perfect environment to work in. You can make money, you can sell to clients that have the money to do the thing. Now you need to create your whole story. And these are the key ingredients to a perfect message I think you should absolutely have. Now you can have more than this, but these are the fundamentals that I think really stands out in a good message, right? Where are they right now? What are they doing right now that you can help them with? Where are they heading? What are they going towards? Their outcome. What are the outcomes they're looking for? Where are they going towards? It's like if you drew a set of stairs, where they are now is here, and where they're heading to, that's a health and safety risk right there, right? So the steps up to where they're going to go is important. Where they are now, what's the outcome they're looking for? An outcome isn't the dreams or the desires, it's a specific outcome that they're looking for. What are they trying to get, and can you help them get there quickly? Then understanding their wants, the wants that they have in this journey. What do they want out of this journey? If you can fundamentally break this part down, you know where they are right now. You know the trigger of what they want out of all of this. You now create a currency. And the currency is the wording or the outcome wording that you're using to get the results that they want to get. This is very important. When you have a currency metric in your messaging, it allows you to leverage yourself in a very unique and powerful way. When I understood this, when I learned about currency wording and currency metrics, and this is not about the money per se, like the cost of anything, this is the currency that they're prepared to pay for to get the outcome. Knowing this is a game changer. It's very powerful. And I'm going to show you what my currencies were and are and how we've utilized it. You need to know their desires, right? What are their long-term desires that they're aiming for, right? Desires. The desires that they want to have out of this whole process, right? Is it financial independence? Is it to save kids in another country, to provide value in some other way? Maybe they're going to pay for an environmental impact or something like that. What are their desires in life? Do they just want to live a fulfilled life? Do they want to have their family, be more with their family? Like, these are very core ingredients, and I know this sounds obvious, but guess what? So many people don't know how to lock onto this. How to lock onto your client's desires is fundamental. And desires can be broken down into these three core components: to have, to feel, and to become. To have something, to have a successful business, to have cash flow real estate, to have financial independence, to have a future that's confident. To have these things, this is what people resonate with in their mind. Then there's the emotion side of it. How are they going to feel when they get to that place? They're going to feel happy, content, fulfilled, elated, emotional, happy, sad. What are the emotions going to mean to them when they get to that point? And finally, and this is a huge one, what they're going to become. What they're going to become when they get to that place. And in a lot of the high-ticket space, when you're dealing with high-performance people, especially, who want to get to a place, who they become out of this, business owners especially, right, to be number one, to have recognition, to have status, people get to know them, who they become, who your clients become is super important. This is a key ingredient to your messaging. Drivers. If you know what your drivers are for your clients, like what's going to motivate them over the line? What is the thing that gets them to take the next step? And I'll give you an example. It connects with urgency, but it's more of a positive outcome. So drivers are the things that they can do and see visually that will get them moving to take the next step. For instance, I knew in my clients who came to me, the biggest driver for them was numbers, right? If they could see the numbers, if they could actualize the numbers to get and what that would look like, it made sense to 99% of them. And that was a big driver for me, is having the numbers to clarify it. So clarity and the numbers were a big driver for me in my real estate business, right? And that helps to give people that nudge over the line. What influences them, right? What influences your clients? What are the things around them that are getting them to move forward? For instance, in real estate, it's economy, macroeconomy, microeconomy, movement of people, data. These are the things that influence them, thinking about their future, where they're going to be in 5-10 years' time. These are big influences in their life. So they're watching the news, they're watching stuff that's going on in social media. And when you know what those influences are, you can utilize them in your messaging. It's a very powerful context. Then urgency. I think this is one of the most underutilized aspects of good messaging. Urgency creates such a motivational drive for people to take action. And it's something like this. What would happen right now to you if you didn't do this thing? I would say you're just stuck with what you're doing right now, your business or your real estate journey or your life to stay the same. Or you didn't do the thing that we're presenting to you. This is what could happen. This is the worst case scenario. You start doing this thing and then it falls apart because you haven't made the right decision. Your property is now costing you way more than what it's supposed to. The interest rates go up, inflation goes up, You're now in a worse place. You don't have the capacity to move forward and do this thing with the real estate. Now it's become very urgent. When they understand that if they don't take action, what is that going to look like? Very powerful message in context. And here, this is probably one of my favorites, is understanding obstacles. Obstacles, objections, the thing that's going to stop them from taking a leap forward, the thing that's going to get in the way of them doing what they need to do and work with you so that they can have the life they want. Understanding what those obstacles are, whether it's finance, whether it's what other people think, whether it's family and friends, whether it's location, whether it's all these types of nuances that can come into obstacles. The more of these lists of obstacles you have, the easier it is for you to help them overcome that in your messaging, in your marketing, in your discussions. This is a key ingredient. When I learned this, it opened up a whole world of opportunity for me because I didn't realize my clients' obstacles in the beginning. I didn't know what was going to stop them from taking the next step. I learned over the years. I now have a list of core obstacles that I know they're always going to come up. And when people bring them up, I'm like, now prepared. But starting to think about this, having these as a baseline is super important. If you want to sell high-ticket coaching, consulting packages consistently and you want to break the market and crush it out there, those are the core ingredients. Now, part of the whole metric of this is your magic formula. I think that as a business owner these days, having a framework, a process, a structure that you can help your clients with gives you one of the most leverage in your business because it's clarity. When you can show people the clarity, right, where they start to build and where they grow, kind of those type of aspects, it makes life easier to sell. It makes your products easier to sell. Now, there's a lot that goes into this. I'm not going to cover everything because creating a signature program, package, service, and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot involved in it. But understanding that here's a good place for you to stand out from the crowd, knowing what the key phases are, how you can get those people to that place quickly and easily, what are the steps they can take to do this, what are the resources you provide, and the gifts you provide. Super, super powerful. When you get this just right and you're incorporating this in your messaging, it's so much more fluid. It's just everything works. You now have a message for everything. You now have an answer for everything. You know every pain point and struggle that they're going to deal with. This is the point when I got to my business and I was like, oh my God, this is so powerful. And this is why you'll see in my message, I think you can see it we're on stage here, right? This was our very first roadmap that we created, our formula, our system. It was called the Genius 5X Blueprint. This gave us huge advantage. I had clients coming up, and we still do, in calls saying, man, I just love the simplicity. I love the clarity that you've created to show us exactly how the process works. It has evolved a lot since then. It's become so much more superior. It looks amazing, and people understand each part of the process, the flow of this. This is why we have the Coach Launch formula. It's a 3-phase process. Equity, trust, and control. Those are the 3 ingredients you need to have a successful world-class coaching and consulting business. If you don't, it's going to be very hard for you to have success. Most people fail in their businesses because they're missing one of those components. So having that in your messaging, all of that tied together is super important. So please go ahead and subscribe. Join this channel. This is all about learning, sharing, collaborating, and growing together. Give me feedback. Subscribe to this channel. Let's learn together. I'm enjoying sharing my journey with all the people out there, and we got so many new subscribers that have joined our channel lately. It's just going crazy. This channel that we're on has grown to more than 7,000 subscribers, and I'm super blessed. I'm so grateful for all the people out there that have joined us to learn more about our process and high-ticket coaching and consulting. Excellent. Thank you so much. Step number 3. One-word domination. One-word domination. One of the biggest struggles I see a lot of business owners go through is not knowing or not having the clarity and congruency all the way through their marketing. And the power of words it speaks for itself, right? No pun intended, but the power of words, everything. The spoken word, written word, it's everything in your business. So when you get it right, it makes life easier. When you get it wrong, it makes life harder. Now, one word. All it takes is one word. I spent a lot of energy and effort, money, mistakes, failures, really getting to this, really getting this. And it knocked the hell out of me in the beginning because I kept being arrogant. I kept thinking I was right instead of looking at the data, looking at the mess from a more analytical perspective rather than an emotional perspective. I thought I was right? And when you go into your messaging or when you're building a business, there is only one word you should be building your business around. One word. What is the thing that you're doing? What is the outcome of the messaging that you're sending? And it's really important when you get this right. In the beginning with real estate, when I first started, I thought I was very arrogant and thought financial freedom, that's what my clients were after. They were after financial freedom. Everybody wants financial freedom. No one wants anything else. That's what I thought. And so I kept punting this word over and over and over and over and over again, and the results weren't heading home. Even in my sales conversations I was having, people were near financial freedom, specifically for the segment that I was working with, because I wasn't diving deeper. And I went through all of these contexts, right? And I didn't know about this one word component in the beginning. And I always thought financial freedom was the answer. Because everyone punts financial freedom. Yes, let's get financial freedom. However, I put it to test. I did a lot of learning, research, understanding, and got the idea of this one word context. There's a lot of research and information about this. And so I had all these words that I thought were going to be viable and valuable to give my clients the outcome that they were trying to get, right? Was it financial freedom? Was it generational wealth? Was it confidence? Was it recognition? Was it status? Was it wealth? Just wealth, not generational wealth, just wealth. Or was it retiring early? And all of these are good outcomes. I mean, if you own real estate, for instance, status is a good outcome, right? What other people will think about you if you have all this wealth and this real estate, but it didn't fit with my specific industry. I thought recognition was going to be a really good word. It's like, recognition has to be it. Everybody wants recognition, but turns out it wasn't. And I had to go through the whole process of really understanding the data. And so I did that. I spent thousands of dollars working through the nuances. I spent money on ads to figure out what was going on. We got 21 messages that we tested right in the beginning, right? 21 messages. The very worst of our outcomes was 0.41% conversion rate. 0.41% is really bad. You don't want to run a business on that type of outcome. Your click-through rates. That was when we first started. We started working through the message testing, retesting. Over a period of time, we got results, and we went all the way to an amazing 2.31% click-through rate on our ads. That was huge, especially if you think about this. We're in the real estate business. Real estate is freaking competitive, man. It is super competitive, so you need to know your stuff. Now, it's very unlikely in most cases that most people will get this 2.31%, but we got it because we worked through the process and really understand the nuances of our business. There was a 461% increase from our worst performing ads headline. 461% increase to get a 2.31% increase in click-through rate on typical ads. And that was just a starting point. We had 5%, 6%, 7%, 8%. But this was with everything changed. The game changed because we realized the message to market fit. And after a lot of testing, there were 2 words that were winners out of everything that we tested. The first was retire. People wanted to retire early. When that struck me, there was so much overwhelming data to show that this was the word that was working for us. It blew my mind, right? Because we go back to where we were before. I was arrogant and convinced that financial freedom was it. But after actually going through the data in my segment, with the people around me, with the specific market that I was targeting, that retire early was the #1 winner. And I can tell you that since we used that, it just crushed it time and time and time again. There was no doubt. So that became a fundamental one word change that we made. The other, which stuck out to me very, very powerfully, was this idea of negative gearing. So in Australia, negative gearing is a context of when your property is making you less than what it's costing you. In other words, it's a negative position. The government allows for you to get some kind of tax concession, but it's a bad system. This keyword, negative gearing is dead. It just crushed it. Like we had a 7% at some point just because of that headline. And that was a huge eye-opener for me. And that's why after that became the core messaging for our entire marketing. Negative gearing is dead. That just changed everything. Like everybody resonated with that. Everybody. And it was something unique. That just randomly came out because we were testing so many different ideas. When that popped, boom, this just connected with my clients, and then the conversions just started going up and up and up. Our cost for acquisition went ridiculously low. I think I have it here somewhere. Yeah, website schedules. Look at this. Website schedules, $88 for a website schedule. So people were getting on my calendar at $88 per calendar booking, okay? And now you can imagine we're selling pretty high ticket stuff. The ROI on this was insane. Now messaging, now that's not everything. Like there's a lot that we put into it to get that outcome. Not everybody can get that outcome. You have to have all the mechanics working. It's made a huge impact. It changed everything for us. And now our message to market fit was very streamlined. We still test, we still iterate, we still improve. But knowing this, metrics, it was an eye-opener and it changed everything. So it illustrates and highlights the importance of message to market fit. All right, let's just summarize. So in all of what we've learned today, message matters above all. Message is a journey. Congruency is the glue that keeps it all together, and all it takes is one word and you can crush it. Know what your currency is. That was our currency, and it makes everything so much easier. Now, I have a message to market fit cheat sheet that I've created for you guys. All of you that are stuck with me at the end of this video, thank you so much. Here we go, gift for you. This will be in the link below in this video. Go check it out. There's an AI prompt in there to help you get a clarity on your message to market fit, especially if you're in the high ticket coaching and consulting space. It's super, super important. So go ahead and download that now. Going forward, I would like you to watch this video. This is the next video in our series. This is going to help you get more clarity. If you want to crush it in high ticket coaching, consulting, or as an expert, this is the next video to watch. Thank you very much. My name is Matthew White. Make today your best day yet. I will see you in the next one. Take care.